Good afternoon, everyone. Today, my lecture topic is modernization of Indian Armed Forces. Like we all know, today we are facing the two-front war threat. Two-front war threat from the countries like Pakistan and China. China has taken the advantage and trying to inculcate in our territory through various incursions, like in the Galwan Valley incident we have seen, and even in the Sikkim Doklam issues we have seen. The LAC border is getting volatile day by day by the Chinese army, and even the Pakistan is sponsoring terrorism and sending the terrorists to India's cross border to cross the borders of India. And in the news, we have seen the long tunnels are being found by the BSF in the regions of Rajasthan and even Jammu region. The long tunnels are being found. So they are trying to infiltrate terrorists into our territory and disturb the peace of our country. So basically, to counter the two front war from these countries, we need to have a strong modernization of our armed forces. Now let's see the present capability of our armed forces. In our armed forces, around 70% of weapons and equipments are 30 to 40 years old. Like especially from the Russia, we have purchased 30 to 40 years back after the World War, and especially when we got independent. So we purchased them. So we are still using them. So they have become so much old, and they are incapable to fight the present day situations. Only 25% of weapons are there which are up to date in today's time. So we need to strongly change this dynamics. And even in the defense meeting, it was said that the present day capability of Indian armed forces is only 10 day to fight the 10-day war only. The ammunition for 10-day war is only there. So the defense minister suggested that we should focus on 30-day collecting more ammunition for 30-day war at least, rather than procuring more high-tech weapons. So after that, if I talk about especially the Indian Army strongly needs the modernization. Like we need more bulletproof jackets, more combat helicopters, more helmets we need, and even mine protected vehicles, more assault rifles, even LMG machine guns. These are very much required for the modern day. Even in the artillery regiment, we need more howitzer. Like we recently Indian made the Dhanush howitzer, and we purchased the MS777 from US howitzer, and even Sarang howitzer is the new induction in the army, and we still need to keep it more updated. And we need to encourage DRDO to develop more such equipments. Even in the air defense, we need more drones and more facilities to be modernized. Even if I talk about the aviation core, we need to strongly replace the cheetah helicopters to and we should get, like in the recent visit of Donald Trump, we equipped Apache helicopter and Chinook helicopters. These were the great purchase from the US country. And if I talk about the Air Force also need the strong modernization in the terms of mid-air refueler. We need more surveillance jets. We need to increase the squadron number. We at present we have only 31, and according to requirement we need 45 squadrons to fight the modern day war. Even like the recently Rafale we have got from the France, we need to keep updating such weapons. We need to get more fighter jets and update the old ones, especially need to replace the old ones and get the new fighter jets and mid-air refueling, early warning system, and update surveillance program of Air Force. In the Navy, we need more warships, more aircraft carriers, especially in the when China is creating having so much dominance in the Indian Ocean region, we strongly need a strong surveillance program there also, and the collaboration with the other neighboring countries like Maldives, Sri Lanka. We need to have a strong vigil over there and keep on updating the armed forces, especially in the navy, to tackle the Indian Ocean region threats. That's all. At last, I would like to say that this is the need of the hour to tackle the two front war situations, because we are heavily facing the depth of the old vintage equipments. It's strongly need to be replaced now. Thank you.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Today, I, Shaurya Pratap, would be talking about modernization in the Indian Armed Forces. Before talking about the topic, I would like to introduce the history of the Indian Armed Forces. The Indian Armed Forces were created under the British Raj. All the infantry regiments, the armored regiments, the Ordnance Corps, even the Navy and the Air Force squadrons were created under the British Raj. As long as Britishers ruled us, they provided all the modernized equipments to the Indian Armed Forces so that they can fight their battles in different parts of the world. They introduced the bombers, the fighter jets, the tanks, the submarines, the aircraft carriers, and the naval ships from the Western European countries to the Indian subcontinent. But all this changed after 1947. We got our independence and also the partition. We all know that everything was divided between India and Pakistan. Many of the things and resources were scrounged by both the new formed countries. Talking about the modernization, Indian Army since 1947 has tried its level best to provide its army with the modernized equipments. In the 1970s and 1980s, when we had fought almost 5 wars with our two nuclearly abled neighbors, that is Pakistan and China, we got to know the importance of modernization. We were really dependent upon Western countries for our military needs, and so are we as of today. India is the highest importer of military equipment from the US. Recently, it has increased its import by $1.8 billion. This is increasing the burden on our financial contributions towards the armed forces. We are providing a budget of almost 4 lakh crore plus to the armed forces. But our armed forces is 15 lakh million people strong, and most of the budget is being given to these people, to the personnel, to provide with their salaries, to provide with their pensions, to regulate and take care of the cantonments of the Indian armed forces. The food, rations, training, ammunition, arms, all have been taking huge sum of the 4 lakh crore budget. Recently, Indian government has announced that it would provide additional $180 billion to the Indian armed forces for their modernization. The key aspects would be to improve the equipments provided to the infantrymen, the armored regiments, and increase the Air Force squadrons. Recently, we have retired MiG-27, popularly known as Bahadur, which has decreased our squadron number from 32 to 28, which should ideally be 42 in case India has to fight a two-front war with both Pakistan and China. Along with that, the Navy has also introduced its plan that it is going to buy 200 ships and 2 aircraft carriers along with UAV drones and many other anti-aircraft guns. The Navy is also intended to mix its demand of 114 fighter jets with that of the Air Force, so that they can collaboratively buy these aircrafts for both of their needs. Also, the Indian Air Force is in tremendous need of fighter aircrafts. DRDO in the past few years have done really good, and it has also produced a fighter aircraft, a light combat aircraft known as Tejas, of which Mark 1A has been ordered by the Air Force, and Mark 1 is ready to be inducted into the Indian Air Force. Moreover, the Tejas Navy variant has also been given interest by the Navy officials, and soon it is probable that they will place an order for it. The Indian Army, on the other hand, is in tremendous need of the guns. The last time we bought guns was in 1990s, the Bofors gun. But in the meantime as well, we have bought several other guns as well. But our main exporter of military equipment was Soviet Union, which dissolved in 1991. As of now, India is making its own artillery gun, that is ATAGS, Advanced Towed Artillery Gun System, which is an advanced version of Bofors. By conclusion, I would like to say that Indian Army should reduce on its troops, just like the Chinese has done. They have reduced 3 lakh troops from their main army so that they are able to modernize their army. Moreover, they have integrated their PLA ground force with PLA Air Force and PLA Navy along with PLA Rocket Force, which has helped them to take maximum use of their existing resources. India has also created the CDS post, but I think it is the theatre commands, the joint theatre commands, that would really help in utilizing the existing resources for the benefit of all the 3 armed forces. Thank you.